What it do? What it do? It's your boy Donnell Torres, and we back again with another video, man. Yes. So today we're gonna have a little bit of a story time. Yes, sir. This one will be about how I waited for Drake in the snow to give him a demo tape. I thought Drake could help me blow up. This is another one of them stories, man, where I talk about how I wanted another artist or musician that I thought that would, be willing to help me. Man, I was definitely naive. During that time, let me see. Yeah, so during that time, this was around 2010 into 2011. No, it was like 2010. We were deep in 2010. So this is around the time like Drake really first started like popping off. And I remember he went to a club, and in the club, well, no, he was supposed to have have an appearance. Like he was doing, at this time, he was doing like club appearances. I don't think he dropped his first album yet, but he was doing club appearances, right? So I wasn't old enough. Yeah, this had to be 2010 because I wasn't old enough to get in the club yet. I was only 20. So yeah, I was only 20 at the time. So it was like 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. I couldn't get in the club. I wasn't 20 yet, or 21 yet. And I was like, man, if I can get Drake, like I can give Drake my demo tape, I'll be lit. So I waited, man. I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. And I remember, let me backtrack a little bit. So I went to DC. I had to go to DC at the time. I was living in Virginia. And I had a truck, like this Isuzu Rodeo trash truck. Like it was garbage. It was a garbage car. So I drove from Virginia to DC. The drive was probably about like 30 minutes. It was a 30-minute drive. So I pull up to the club, and I'm like, and I knew I couldn't get in, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna post up, right? I'm gonna chill, relax. It was cold too. Like it was winter time. It was like deep in winter. It was cold. If anybody know how the East Coast operate, once it's cold, like that winter time, it can be brutal. So I post up on the sidewalk. I had maybe 5 demo tapes on me. I had 2 in my pocket, 2 in my coat pocket, 1 in the outside pocket, waiting for Drake to to show up. Now, mind you, the music on this CD, the mixes were trash. I had lyrics though, but the mixing was garbage at the time. This was before I really knew how to mix and master songs, how to properly engineer. So I'm posted up. I'm like, yeah, Drake gonna show up. And mind you, I see buses drive by, because at this point Drake is pretty famous. He's not worldwide yet, but he's pretty famous. So I assume he was gonna pull up in a YMCMB tour bus or something like that. And I'm chilling. Mind you, I drove up there by myself. It was completely by myself. And I'm chilling by myself, waiting for Drake to show up in the blistering cold. And after a while, I'm like, this man ain't showing up. So I think I got there probably around 6 7 or 8. It had to be like 7 or 8 the time I got there, right? Got there at 7. I'll say I'll give it 7:30. So I get there at 7:30, and I'm waiting. An hour goes by, I'm waiting. 2 hours go by, I'm waiting. It's like hitting like 10:30, 11 at this point, right? So I'm there for a few hours, like waiting. I'm like, yo, Drake taking a little bit of time. And then I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe it's one of them things where, you know, they pull up last minute, because at that time I was starting to go out to the clubs. I was starting to go out to the clubs more and more. And when I go, I notice when, you know, celebrities come through, they show up like real late, or they perform like real late. So I'm like, all right, maybe he'll show up like around like midnight, right? So I'm sitting up there. It's like 10:30. I'm like, what's another hour and a half? Waiting, and then I see a truck pull up, or not a truck, but like a van, like a giant van, right? Or a bus. That's what it was. It was a bus. So I see the bus pull up. I'm like, oh, it's him. So I wait like in the corner, and I'm looking at all the people getting off the bus. Not Drake. It was like a party bus or something like that. The Drake wasn't on there. So I'm like, damn, like, where's Drake? So midnight hit. It starts snowing, right? Snowing. I'm cold, blistering cold. It's snowing, and I'm waiting. Then another bus shows up, and I'm like, jackpot. My man Drizzy Drake to the rescue. Nope. Nah. Nope. It wasn't him. It was some like flossy looking nigga. He was iced out, but it wasn't Drake. But at this point I'm salty. I'm mad, big mad, because it's like 1:30 in the morning at this point. And I was posted up there for so long that people like started leaving the club. Like I'm looking at people leave the club. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm watching everyone leave this club. And I'm sitting here on the sidewalk across the street from the entrance, waiting for Drake's tour bus to pop up. Oh, bro. Talk about salty, because the truck that I had was trash. It was terrible on gas. I made all these demo tapes like last minute, and I drove out here by myself, and I have to drive back by myself. And I was thinking, like, even if I drove by myself, at least I got a chance to meet Drake. I would have been satisfied with just giving him like one of my demos. Even if he would have threw the shit away, I would have been okay with him throwing away the demos, as long as I gave it to him. But nope, he didn't even show up for me to let him throw away the demo tapes. So, moral of the story: don't wait out in the snow for a musician that might not pop up. You know, I'm joking, but in all honesty, I look at it as a learning experience, because during that time I was really hungry. I was really on it, but my execution was bad, because I'm thinking that I can blow up by rapping for someone or giving them a demo tape. And at that time, like early 2010s, it was still normal for that to happen, but the internet was starting to take over. And at that time I wasn't fond of the internet like that, even though like I'm part of that generation. My generation is literally the dawn of the internet. So at that time we didn't really understand how the internet worked, because around that time, that's when Soulja Boy was like really popping. I mean, at that point, Soulja Boy was already out, but I looked at it as like, okay, since somebody made it off the internet already, that probably won't happen again. Little did I know, you can make full-blown businesses off these social media platforms, and I didn't know that. And at the time, not really. At the time, it wasn't all that known, or it wasn't too many people doing that. So I didn't really have a blueprint. I just had the Soulja Boy blueprint. But the thing with Soulja, Big Draco, is like anyone that blew up off the internet, you was kind of like copying. So I didn't want that. I didn't want to do a copycat move. So I was like, you know what? Let me do this behind the scenes, like give my music to an A&R or something. If only I known. If only I known. If only I known, my friend. If only I known. So, yeah. That's the story about how I thought I was going to give my demo tape to Drake. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, man. After that, I got a few more stories. Don't worry. I'm going to make sure they become videos. But those are one of my few stories where I try to, show up for an established musician thinking they can hand me a record deal. Little did I know that's not how the industry works. So, even back then you had to come with your own buzz. Drake had his own buzz before Lil Wayne even signed him. So, you still got to make your own buzz, homie. End the story. You dig? But anyways, I'm gonna end it with this. Always subscribe, comment, like, stay true, stay heard. I'm out.